I got a letter one time from IRS, and the letter said, you have been selected for an audit of your tax return. Mm-hmm. So I wrote back a really nice letter, I said, I don't want you people in any way to think that I don't appreciate having been selected. I feel honored, but I really don't want my audit. And so by virtue of this letter, I'm going to authorize you to give my audit to some other deserving taxpayer. And so I really did do that. I did. And they wrote back and they said, you don't seem to understand. And they made an appointment. They took me serious, and I just tried to brighten up their day. I figured they got a kind of a dull job, so
make them laugh.
Give them something to laugh at. They took me serious. I figured they must have Xeroxed hundreds of copies of that letter and passed them around the office.
Oh yeah.
Hey Ralph, look at this goofball. Can you believe this guy thinks it's a privilege to get picked for an audit?
We're going to check him for the next 20 years.
Anyway, they made an appointment for me. Give me a time and a place to appear with my records.
Right.
Didn't have the common courtesy, of course, to check with my appointment calendar. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, how rude.
Well, of course.
So I didn't go. And they called up and they said, you didn't show up for your appointment. And I said, I had a prior commitment. I had to wash my car. And that ticked them off big time.
I bet, yeah.
So they sent me a summons to appear, which ticked me off because they mailed it to me. I like my summons handled. So I figured since they mailed it, it wasn't any good, so I didn't go. And they called up and they said, you didn't show up on your summons. I said, you folks are far more perceptive than I thought you were. I said, I'll send you a summons to appear at my home. If you don't show up, you'll be in contempt of my house. So they backed down and sent an agent to my house. So I let this guy in. True story. Let him in. Sat down at my desk and turned on a little cassette tape recorder. The agent looked at it and he said, if you think you're going to tape record this conversation, I have news for you. I will not give you my permission. I said, don't need it. My house, my tape recorder. He said, I will not discuss your taxes with that on. I said, oh, stop. You're breaking my heart. Anything, let me up,
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't talk to me, and I wouldn't turn it off, so we stared at each other for like 20 minutes. And finally, I started cleaning my gun, and he packed his stuff and left. I said, I got stuff to do and get behind here. And so he left. So I didn't hear anything for about 3 or 4 weeks. They sent another guy out. Turned on the tape recorder, and he looked at it, and he said, I've been told about that little trick. I said, come here, man, it ain't a trick. You push these 2 buttons down right here. I said, you hang out with me the rest of the week, I'll have you doing this in no time. You got a little free time next week, I'll work on rewind and playback. I was inside of a month, I could have you in Washington. He said, I am prepared to talk to you with that on. I said, well, good for you. The question is, are you qualified to talk to me? He said, what's that supposed to mean? I said, are you duly sworn? Did you swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States? He said, I most certainly did. I said, well, tell me about that. He said, about what? That's your oath, the Constitution. He said, I don't know anything about the Constitution. I said, you swore to uphold a document you know absolutely nothing about. You took a hopeless oath. You bore false testimony. Technically, that's perjury, and you could be in a lot of trouble here. So he packed his stuff in. I didn't press charges. You're not letting him go. But
Yeah, right.
I've been through 27 agents. That's true. 27 agents. Talked to one of them into quitting. He's a pimp in Miami. He moved up to honest work. You're getting people screwed. They like to get screwed.